I know. What up, family? Good Monday to you. How y'all feeling today, man? It's a beautiful day to be alive. If you are above ground and you can hear and see me right now, man, you are in a good position. As many people probably weren't in your position. Look, I wasn't feeling it today. I just wasn't. Today was one of them days I woke up and I was like, really just not in the mood to work today. But you know what? Pressed my way. Here I am. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't do much today. But I'm just be honest, right? Like that's part of entrepreneurship. It's not always sunshines and smiles when you're your own boss. Some days you really gotta force yourself to get up and go, right? Some days you just not gonna feel like doing anything, but you still gotta get up and force your way into getting it done. Because when you're your own boss, ain't no safety net, right? You operating on your own. There's no employer to fall back. Ain't no constant paychecks coming in, but that's just the joys of entrepreneurship, the joys of being self-employed. And like I said, I was just not feeling it today. But I said, you know what's going to cheer me up? My family, my people. So I wanted to come on here and say what's up to my people. Bree, I see you. I'm start waving at everybody, right? Uh-oh, nope. Let me see. Try to figure this thing out if I can press the buttons. Yep, I see you. So what I want to do right now to cheer me up, to get me through this day, I know it's evening, right? The day's almost over. But I still just have to hop on here and just kind of join my people. So what I want to do is just do a Q&A real quick. Something to cheer me up, make me feel productive, answer some questions. And I got some questions right now that I've received, some very interesting questions on YouTube from a couple of videos, which is what sparked me to want to come on here and do this Q&A. So, I guess what's going to make me feel good today is if I can help some of my people become successfully self-employed. That's my goal. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some of these questions live. And hopefully I feel better, right? Get me through this drudging Monday. So yeah. What's going on, Miss Donna? Miss Brilliance Technical Writing, I see you. I appreciate you being here. So the first question I want to answer, and again, if y'all got questions, especially if you're catching this live, right? You can ask me a question. I'll try to answer it. And if not, if I don't answer it live, of course, you can always put your questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to it. So the question somebody says here says, "Hey there, good buddy. I had my LLC. It was dissolved for not paying taxes. Is it worth it to fix, or should I make a new one? I would want to get it up and running again because I had it for 4 years in North Carolina." So here's the thing. Here's like an LLC question. They had it already. Didn't really manage it properly, right? So the state shut it down. They dissolved it for them automatically because they didn't pay their taxes. It's like, I'm telling y'all, like this tax game is serious. If you don't pay your taxes, they will shut down your entire operation, which he just admitted. They dissolved the LLC for not paying his taxes. And the question is it worth it to fix it or start a new one? And here's my thought process with that. Before I answer, I'm going to say it really all depends. It depends on what your goal is, okay? But even before I go there, let me say this. I'm a fan of paying your debt. I'm an advocate of paying your debt. If you owe taxes, don't try to negate taxes by trying to go form some new entity and do the same thing over again, right? Trust me, when you form an entity, think about it. I want y'all to really think about it because, like I said, I'm a fan of intelligence. When you're filling out this the paperwork to form these LLCs, to form these entities, you are putting your information somewhere on that application. Therefore, they know your name, they know your social security number, right? And if we're dealing with state agencies and you file taxes with those state agencies, they have your birthday on file. So they can look you up, right? They know, well, I'm going to go form another corporation so I could avoid tax. They looking at these things and they're seeing you accumulate all these businesses and these taxes. Eventually, that agency is going to come after you personally. Because I know people think that forming these LLCs and these other entities is going to somehow, some way negate you from paying taxes, is going to make you completely free. It don't work like that. That's the first thing I want to start with that question. Again, this individual says that they LLC has been dissolved for not paying taxes, and they want to know, should they go ahead and pay those taxes to bring everything up to date and keep the LLC, or just say, screw it, start a new one? And my answer is, again, it depends. Why does it depend? One, I'm going to ask the question, what are you doing? If you're just hustling, right? If you're just trying to do something short term to make a couple of quick bucks to go buy something it is that you want to get, then I'm gonna say don't do neither, right? Don't even form an LLC. Just do what you're gonna do to get your bread and get on. But if you are trying to build a business, then you don't want to continue to switch LLCs because of one thing, and that's called branding, right? When you're building a business, you're building a brand. A brand a brand conveys trust, right? When you think about your favorite brands, why do you buy it? Right? Well, because you trust it. You trust that it's going to be there. You trust that it's going to provide value. You trust that it's going to enhance who you are some way, somehow. You know the brand. If you see the brand that was here today, gone tomorrow, would you really trust it? Absolutely not. So the thing about forming these multiple corporations, because you didn't mess them up, you're ruining your reputation. Nobody wants to trust you. Oh, because they're going to look like, well, didn't you just have a company yesterday? Now you got a new one? Something going on, right? So if you're trying to be serious about your business, and I'm responding to the person who asked the question about should they pay their taxes and get the LLC restored or just start a new LLC. Again, if you're just hustling, if you're just trying to get to that next dollar, then by all means, you start as many as you want, as many as you can afford. I'll say that. Obviously, they're not cheap, right? There's taxes involved, there's administration, there's a lot of things. If you just trying to get your hustle on, trying to get to the bag as quick as possible, by any means necessary, go for it. But if you really trying to start and build an actual business, a legacy business, something that you can pass on to your kids, grandkids, put inside of a trust and let it continue to do what it do for years to come, then stick to a brand. Pay the LLC, bring it up to date, use that same name. Don't keep switching up. All right? Definitely think about that. Are you a hustler or are you starting a business? Which one are you? Because if you're hustling, you can do what you want to do. It don't matter because people really not going to worry about the business that you started the other day. But if you're really trying to start a brand, if you're trying to start a business and you're trying to get that long-term money, all right? That's the key difference between hustling and starting a business. Hustle will bring you that short-term income. You'll get that immediately, right? It'll help you reach that short-term goal. But when you're trying to start a business, building a brand, well, that's long-term money. And that's what I'm doing. That's why everything you see with me, everything is on brand colors. Everything I do going to have yellow, black, and blue in it. Why? Because that's my brand colors. I want to make sure that this is something I can pass on to my great-grandkids. Long money. So again, to summarize it, if you're in a situation where you had the LLC, unfortunately, you failed to do the administrative duties, and now the state has shut it down because you owe either the franchise fees or you owe taxes or you owe whatever it is you owe, and you're trying to determine, should I just pay that tax or should I start a new one? I'm always going to say, pay the taxes, stick to the name that you formed, be good there. Pay your debt, be good to go. All right. Another question that I got right here, which is a good one, I want to kind of answer live here, says, I sell handmade items, artwork, etc. And the question says, if I made a disclosure on my website, like by purchasing this from this site, you are waiving your right to seek compensation or damages, blah, blah, blah. Like that, but more suave, is that actually contractual enough to prevent someone from suing? I know you're not a lawyer and not giving legal advice, but what's your opinion? Is this risk limiting or enforceable at all? Man, that is an excellent question. Again, I'm glad they made the note that I am not a lawyer. All right, so understand that this is going to be my opinion, not legal advice, because legally I'm not allowed to give legal advice. But, you know, common sense is common sense. The question again, I guess this individual sells artwork. They're concerned about liability, don't want nobody suing them, getting in trouble. So they're asking if they put a disclosure on their website that says by purchasing this item, you waive your rights to seek compensation or damages. Will that be good enough to prevent me from being sued? The answer is no, right? No matter how much wording, no matter how suave we make it seem, no matter how well it is written, that won't stop anybody from suing. Now, it may, in fact, should I say, reduce the people who may consider suing you, but can it 100% stop somebody from suing you? Absolutely not, right? What it can do in the event of a lawsuit is the fact that if you have that on there and the individual who's bringing suit against you actually signed it, it can be in your favor if it ever goes to litigation. However, it won't prevent it, okay? But what I can say also, because this is the question that everybody's going to ask, is that good reason to get an LLC then? And again, absolutely not. LLCs, let's look at the name. Let's break it down. LLC, limited. Limited. It does not absolve. It is not 100% of anything. Limited liability company. Note the difference between company and corporation. An LLC is not a corporation, therefore it is not treated as one under the laws of any state. It is a company, which is something completely different. Okay? Knowing that. So limited liabilities really work in the situation of debt, right? Like debt, D-E-B-T, debt, not death, D-E-A-T-H. There's a difference. Limited liabilities are good when it comes to the prevention of a debtor, however you say that word, coming after you, versus you accidentally causing harm or death to somebody. That's completely situation. That's a completely different situation. All right. So again, to answer the question, there's nothing that can stop somebody from suing you. If they have enough money and resources, they can bring legal suit. And that's another thing I want y'all to really understand. And I'm glad that this person asked the question, because just forming an LLC does not mean you are going to be saved from lawsuits. Because if somebody sues you, even if you have an LLC, even if you win the lawsuit, think about the process. You're still going to have to hire a lawyer. You're still going to have to take time out of your day to go to the court. You're still going to have to pay the court fees. You're still going to have to miss out on money. So it's not saving you much, but it's costing you a lot. Think about that. Okay, LLCs, of course, are good for some things, but if we're worried about litigation, especially when you're just starting, okay, it's best to just get some good business insurance. Think about the insurance industry. It's one that nobody talks about, but the insurance industry, it's a good one. And there's a reason for that, because it's the first line of defense. Major corporations have insurance. Why? Because it's the first line of defense. If insurance didn't do what it's supposed to do, why would we need it? Why would businesses get it? Why would it exist? It exists for a reason. If you're concerned about liability, if you're concerned about damaging or causing damage to one of your customers, then by all means, get some business insurance. And it's very inexpensive. It's very cheap. You know, my thing is just be real with your insurance agent so they can make sure they give you the proper coverage, because that's what's important, getting the proper coverage. So again, this person says they make artwork and they want to put a disclosure that they think will be contractually enough to prevent someone from suing. And again, I'm saying no. I'm saying if you want to prevent somebody from suing, unfortunately it can't happen. Do your best. The best way to prevent being sued is to do your best to provide the best product and service value. Like don't cut corners. Don't skimp on anything. Make sure you crossed all your T's and dotted your I's, and that will reduce the lawsuits. Outside of that, putting words on paper and having somebody sign it doesn't really prevent lawsuits. Now, it can save you in the prevent. If somebody does actually take you to court, you can be like, Your Honor, look, this is what they signed. This is what they agreed to. And the judge may or may not honor that, depending on what the situation was. Everything about the court depends on the situation. We've seen that, right? Everything is about the situation. So that honestly wouldn't be. So yeah, let's see. I see some questions here. Hold on for a second. If I sell a service, do I have to charge sales tax? Good one. From Bill Lance Technical Writing. If I sell a service, is there a sales tax? The answer is, it depends, right? Like a couple of years ago, there was the decision, the court case, waive versus South Dakota, where the Supreme Court sided with the state about charging sales tax. And now every state, all 50, well, at least the 45 states that actually have a sales tax, is now in the process of creating some new sales tax laws. Why? Because sales tax is the second largest source of revenue for most states. So of course they about to get it in. But when it comes to services, some states charge a sales tax on the service. Some states do not. Then it depends on, like here in California, if the service is attached to some sort of labor, then there's a possibility of a sales tax being charged. Like I had a good friend that was in the automotive industry. If the service was attached to replacing a new part with a new part, replacing new parts on a vehicle, then there will be a sales tax on the labor, the service. But if it was replacing something with an old or used part, then there is no sales tax on the labor. So it's very those teeny weeny differences in the law that really make me say it depends, right? Depending on where you are, what state, what jurisdiction will help determine if there's a sales tax. Like even Netflix is a streaming service. Some states tax them sales tax for the subscription, for the streaming services. Okay, so it really all depends on where you are. Man, I feel like I've been talking a lot here, but I love it. I love Q&As. And there was one more I wanted to answer before I let everybody go. And this one here also was, again, a comment that was posted on the YouTube channel. It says, if you have a single member LLC, do you have to apply for an EIN? So let's understand what an EIN is. An employer identification number. Keyword there being employer. If you don't plan to have employees, therefore you're not an employer, therefore you really don't need an EIN. However, EINs are good for banking purposes, and that's outside of hiring employees. The only other reason you would get an EIN is if you wanted to open up a bank under the business name. Outside of that, there really is no reason for an EIN. Again, if you look at the instructions on the Schedule C for the box that asks for the EIN number, it specifically tells you if you are a single member LLC and it's just you don't have employees, there's no need for an EIN. So no, the answer to the question is you don't need one. But if you're trying to open up a bank, is feel free to go ahead and do so, because it really just all depends on what it is that you are doing. So, yeah. That was it, man. I thank y'all for being here with me, because I feel so much better, right? Like today was Monday, and I was like, wasn't feeling it, right? That's the whole part of entrepreneurship. But answering some questions live really helps me feel good. So yeah, thank you. Outside of that, man, I'm just saying what's up to everybody who's on here. I guess I need to go on and get back to work then, right? Because it's 7:08 where I am. Still got a couple of things to do here to get busy. So yeah, again, man, much love to everybody. Thank y'all for joining me here. If you have any questions, let me know. Maybe next time I hop on this Q&A, we'll have somebody join, right? Like we'll do a live Q&A session. I'll have to plan that out, right? Like have somebody put a request in to join, and we'll do like a live Q&A one-on-one, right? Man, appreciate it. So outside of that, fam, I'm about to go ahead and check out and get back to work, because we still got about another week and a half before the tax season is over. And so I got tax returns to do. So know that I love you. Know that I hope, man, I hope this helped out. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.